What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We are still here in the Deep Roads and ready to press on with the Dead Trenches, the home of the Undead Legion. Considered no man's land largely by everybody in Orzammar, and you're already seeing why. Got some Legionnaires here fighting the Darkspawn. We are a Warden, so what we want here is aligned with the Dead Legion, so we're going to help them, of course, in any way we can. Help them take this little bridge fight on. Certainly in our purview to thin the Darkspawn horde here. The more Darkspawn we kill down here, the less we got to deal with up top. Get rid of this Alpha first. I'd like to save as many of the Legion soldiers here as we can. They're a very cool faction, and again, they existify Darkspawn. They're not dissimilar from Grey Wardens, except they don't have any mythical powers like we do. Doesn't seem like they're going to progress across the bridge with us, but they will fight as they get this far. I've been wanting to take the fight to the Darkspawn, now's our chance. Actually get a decent taste of what it will be like fighting the Blight head on down here. It's pretty much what we're in for, just on a much larger scale. If you're wondering what it was like to be on the front lines at Ostagar, Alistair, you're getting a little taste of it. Keep on progressing across the bridge.
Let's get started.
Good dual sweep here. Alistair hit opponent. We have our Legion onlookers back here. It's probably the first time they've ever seen a Warden in combat. I'd love to talk to the unit commander when we get done here. He might be able to give us some more lore on the Undead Legion, and I did say I was very interested in getting them on board, so we can talk to them a little and see if there's any way we can make that happen. Nicely done, Oghren. Certainly are taking it to him. Alistair hit the tone. We're gonna move up and then hit the whirlwind. You see we pulled aggro right there because of the sheer amount of damage we just did. Do notice our health getting a little dire, so off to heal. Get some of these archers off our backs. You already know I'm focusing this shriek instantly. Get him off our ass. Get that noise out of everybody's ears, mine and yours. There goes the Alpha. Now this is a very interesting little predicament we just run into. So here's what we're gonna do. You're all gonna hold. We're gonna pull out our good old trusty bow. And we're gonna take a shot at this ogre. We're gonna bring his bum ass over here. We're gonna fight him one-on-one without his little horde helping him. That should do. Now everybody can move. We're gonna stun him. Hopefully chop him down before it gets dramatic. We did. Now everybody can just kind of fire at will. See, the arch is already cutting and running. It's not gonna do him any good. Pop momentum. And chop him down. Alistair, pop a taunt for me. Have more attention on me than I would like. Beautiful. You see Oghren's over here holding up pretty well too. I'll let Alistair take care of that. And there you have it. The bridge is cleared.
This should be easy enough.
Okay, I'm kind of interested in going back here and talking to the dwarf commander. We just cleared out the bridge for him, so he might have some kind of words for us. Here he is pulling up now that we cleared the way. Let Kardol go ahead. We're going to loot this Alpha and then we'll catch up with him. It's a cool little squad we got going on here. There's 6 of them. I wonder why he was specifically sent here. When we read in the codexes, the Undead Legion basically just exclusively exists to try and take back Bonamar under any cost.
Well, Grey Warden, I'll give you credit for backbone. You've dug a line through the spawn. Still no sense in your head, but you've got skill.
Tell me more about the Legion of the Dead.
We die in the eyes of our brothers so we can fight without fear. It offers redemption for the promise of the greatest sacrifice. That's all you need to know. To say more invites judgment, or worse, imitation.
You should be more concerned about the coming blight.
Why? The other kingdoms only care when the Darkspawn march in the light. But they are always here, always pushing. Your nightmare is my everyday. Our resolve gives you a rest between blights. A surge on the surface would give us a break. When the time comes, I'll care for a good dwarven reason. Sod the rest.
That's actually a very valid perspective that he holds here, because he's dealing with the blight 24/7 down here in the deep roads. And the only reason they don't pour up onto the surface constantly is because when there isn't a blight, they're stuck down here trying to deal with the dwarves 24/7. So, like he said, his people give our people a respite in between blights. They would finally get a respite for once if they all went to the surface. Maybe give them some chance to get some more numbers. I don't hold a grudge for his opinion. It makes sense when he cares about his own people. Ever heard of the Anvil of the Void?
Like dusters, I've heard of respect. Never seen it. And if it exists, it wasn't meant for me. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the Anvil. And Endless Lyrium.
I'm leaving.
Let us know if you find any paragons. You're as likely to find a dozen as one. And Warden, watch yourself. Drunks make poor allies.
You watch yourself too.
I
I definitely want him to stay alive.
I've never seen one of your kind in the deep roads.
You know I'm a Grey Warden.
I recognize a fighter of Darkspawn. It marks you. It's why we in the Legion of the Dead abandon our lives so we can face them without fear. It's a sacrifice I understand Grey Wardens are familiar with. What do
Indeed.
you want here, Warden?
Let's see. I'm apparition, and I'm looking for allies.
It's an odd tactic, recruiting from the front line. The Darkspawn pitch their camps in our tunnels between your blights, you know. Give me a dwarven reason to look topside.
I'm working for your next king.
You're working for a fool. We follow the throne, which is empty. Below that is politics, beneath Legion notice. That's the benefit of our oath. What? Does he need some weight to swing the vote in the assembly? I suppose you're sweeping the vents for paragons.
This dwarf has his head on a swivel and a very keen sense for the BS that's going on in his own country. That's about it. You have anything useful to add?
Warden, you got your work cut out for you. Paragon Branka is dead, everyone with sense knows it. Past our line, the Darkspawn kill everything.
Why hold back?
I'd gladly lead an assault through the dead trenches, but without an ass in the throne, we have no orders. I won't take fool's gold from a pretender. You want to go digging blind? You go right ahead.
I love this dwarf. I absolutely love this dwarf.
Like dusters, I've heard of respect. Never seen it. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the Anvil. And Endless Lyrium.
Goodbye.
Good luck, Grey Warden.
Yeah, hopefully Kardol stays alive. I want to talk to him some more after we're done down here. That dwarf has such a keen sense for the way the world actually works, which is oftentimes, and by the way, part of the reason why I said I would rather have the general than the politician is for exactly the conversation I just had with him. He gets it. He understands, like he said, it's just an empty chair, and that's what they follow. Everything below the throne is all political nonsense and BS and money and corruption. He understands the way that the world works, though. And as also he said, he would gladly lead a charge through the deep roads. He'd be happy to take the fight to the Darkspawn, but they have no leadership. All he wants is a leadership and a reason to kill the enemy. That is the kind of attitude and soldier that we need on our side here for the Blight. Love Kardol. If I could have my own way, I would have the Legion of the Dead and him over the pomp and ceremonious dwarven army. Instead of Balin or Haramont's forces, I'd gladly take the Legion. They understand. They fight Darkspawn for a living. They seem like the perfect kind of force to send the surface for aid. So if we can make the magic happen with that, we're certainly going to. I would trust a Legionnaire at my back way before I trusted one of Haramon or Balin's
Darkspawn approach. Watch for them.
soldiers. Because at the end of the day, they are ultimately political. Whether they understand the threat, give them their word or not, at the end of the day, they care about more than just killing Darkspawn. Him, all he wants to do is kill Spawn. He understands that it helps everybody. He understands what it's like to fight them. How it affects you no matter what. He already understands all the harm and potential threats that it poses. He's not going to get scared because he fights them for a living. You saw even at Ostagar, some of the soldiers were getting kind of shook at the sight of a Darkspawn horde. Which is no slight on him. I mean, it's an army of cursed demons, and if anything was going to make you a little scared at the start of a battle, it's that, right? So I'm not calling him a coward. I'm just saying certain units will have immunity to being scared like that because they've dealt with it so much. I think... Oh, that's my mistake. I missed the fact that there's a little demon up here. So he's going to pop that. He can still heal because of his Devour ability. But we're going to get that off him nonetheless. Now he's going to heal up. Now we'll take care of this emissary without any deaths. Beautiful. I'll heal on ourselves too. Yeah, the Legionnaires, they won't retreat, they won't pull back, they won't doubt themselves for a second. They know the Darkspawn have to die, and they'll die themselves in order to kill him. That is exactly what we need in a force to fight them. Pay very close attention while we're down here, because you never know, perhaps we'll actually find some way to get them on board. Certainly, if we can't manage to do that, we'll at least find some goodies down here. And since we are close to Bornemar, given that it's the Dead Trenches, this is the home, you might be able to find some interesting lore on them, even if we can't get them on board. Be able to learn more about them at least. Chop our way through all these genlocks. Now, if you recall, they did say that a lot of the Legion of the Dead's homeland was kind of just like a giant mausoleum, so... all these tomb holes, it does kind of make sense.
As you wish.
Just the leather boots. We're gonna make sure we check all of these sarcophaguses. Sarcophagi. Not sure how you pronounce that. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know in the comments. Shoppo.
This should be easy enough.
Another Shoppo. Boots of the Legion. Now this is a nice little hint that we're going to be getting some Legion of the Dead armor here. And you saw the Dead cast. Perhaps we can restore some of their glory. We got ourselves a level up, so let's take a look at our stats right here. We will definitely go willpower at some point, but for now, I would say let's get some more dexterity, and we'll put 1 in willpower, and then we'll go cunning the next time. In terms of this, I guess we'll just keep bumping up our combat tactics. Nothing else is really going to serve any purpose for us. And now that we are done with the two-handed tree, we have Power of Blood, we have Assassin all the way up. At this point, I'm going to start working on maxing out the Rogue tree, I think. So the Rogue gains an almost preternatural ability to sense and avoid danger. This talent grants a 1 in 5 chance of evading attacks. The Rogue collapses at an enemy's feet, making them lose interest and seek other targets. This is going to drop aggro for us. I'd rather get the passive right now for a chance to evade. Every time we get hit, we're going to get a 1 in 5 chance to just negate that completely, so definitely take that. We are now at level 20, so there's only 5 levels left to be gained. Go up in this little side tomb first. Now I immediately saw the emissary this time, so it's gonna go a lot differently to the last encounter. Alistair, you're gonna pop that. Wynn, you're gonna hit him with a Winter's Grasp. Oghren, you're gonna just beeline for him. And as soon as I am out of this stun, we're gonna go introduce ourselves to this little emissary here. Ultimately, he needs to die first. Now that he is dead, this all gets way easier. We're gonna stun this spider off of Alistair. He's up on his feet now. Perfect time for a whirlwind. We are surrounded. Get that Genlock out of there. We have a lot more codexes. That was on Shapers. Check all these sarcophagus now that I know that we can get the Legion armor. So you had Demonic Ichor. Darkspawn Longsword. Now a lot of the Darkspawn weapons, they actually come with debuffs. They can look kind of cool, but unfortunately you're actively nerfing yourself if you ever equip any of them, so you won't be seeing me use those. I'm gonna pick it all up to sell it though. Although I'm not sure it's a good idea to be selling tainted goods. We'll kind of have to headcanon that way. I'd certainly be destroying most of these things, not peddling them off, but there you have it. I did just walk on a trap and turn my entire party into Korean barbecue, so that's unfortunate. So we're just gonna stand in the flames for some reason. Let's not do that again. Let's go fend this off immediately. Now, Alistair, you're gonna go over there. I don't need your help on that one specifically. What I want Alistair to do is come up in here and taunt, and then hit Warcry to debuff. Me and Oghren are gonna take care of these. We'll go over there and help him. Break the pie down into chunks, divide and conquer. I need to jump that wood. Perfect.
Right.
Let's keep on, keep it on.
As you wish.
Might have to do a little inventory check after this episode. All the way back up at 92 things collected. It's not looking good for our inventory loot brain space. Loves of the Legion, that's our second piece. It seems we're getting a codex update every time we find one of those too, so I think each piece is teaching us more and more about the Legion. There's what, 4 pieces? Unless there's a shield, then there's 5. Keep our eyes very peeled. Now on Topsider's honor, we did get a note that he revealed his final location of his last confrontation with the Darkspawn, and it was down here. So we'll be paying attention for any particularly tough Darkspawn while we're in here. Already see the asshole in the back that I need to fight. Alistair torn. I unfortunately died immediately in this encounter. That's gonna be a problem. Win hit revival. Now I need to put my other injury kits on my talent bar. Probably heal first. Now pop your injury kit. Now you chop that wood. Alistair, go hit him with a shield bash. Alistair just got a nice little level up. He did hit him with the bash. They're gonna stun him so he doesn't run again. And this is a huge problem for us that we just got knocked down by this spider, so Oghren's gonna pommel strike the spider off us, hopefully. Indeed he did. As soon as we're up, we're gonna hit a whirlwind. Lots of AoE damage. We're gonna take a sip. Alistair's gonna take a sip just in case Wynn can't get there. Oghren is stunned, so he can't do anything right now. Get a sweep. We really gotta get this emissary down. This is a boss right here, but the emissary is doing a really good job of supporting him, so he dies first, of course. Get momentum going. Let's chop this wood a little faster. Once the emissary goes down, this is less of a problem. Beautiful, the emissary's down. Now, as long as Alistair can keep focus, we can kind of just go about our business in this fight. Chop that wood. Slowly but surely start getting these down. Now, immediately, we're going to go help Wynn. Can't afford our battery to die right here. Alistair pull the aggro back. This ancient Darkspawn is holding up very well against my party.
Down you go. Show me what you got.
Let's see if we can't put a dent in that. Mark of Death. Get behind for the flank, and now he's going to have a very bad day. The end of the ancient Darkspawn. And he had with him the Topsider's Blade, the blade of a fine elven sword. A partial inscription glows faintly in the presence of Lyrium, but remains unreadable. And that's the quest update for an admirable Topsider. You have found all of the pieces of the Topsider's sword. Returning it to his corpse may bring him some peace. The Topsider's final resting place is in the caves east of Orton Tig. So we know where we're heading for that quest. We're not going to do it right now. We're going to keep progressing through the dead trenches as far as we can go. When we get a little break in the action, I'll go and do that. But now, Alistair does, of course, have a level up. We're going to give him 1 strength and 2 cunning, so that he gets his... Okay, never mind. He doesn't have a tactics slot this time, so instead of that, I'm going to give him... Do we want to give him more defense or more strength? Let's give him more willpower, purely because I did notice in the last fire that he was having a hard time with some of his upkeep, so I'll give him more stamina. Let him play with his abilities a little more. That was very close to me setting this trap off. Got that just in the nick of time. Alistair, put that new stuff to good use. He's gonna walk right too.
Right then.
Okay, now that he has more stamina, let's go ahead and put his 3rd sustain on too. He can rally. That's gonna buff me, Oghren, and him. So it debuffs the enemies. He has about half of his stamina bar left with those 3 sustains on. We could knock off the precise striking. Precise striking is making him do more damage, but he's not really here for damage. He is mainly here to tank. So if we drop precise striking, now he has 3/4 of his stamina bar back. That's a little more accessible. We do need him to still be able to taunt and stuff, so probably do that. We'll keep Rally on for now.
Let's get started.
See what Rally is doing for us actually. Allies gain bonus to attack and defense. Motivate. Allies gain additional bonus to attack. So we're doing really good with Rally. He's definitely going to be keeping that on. I immediately see a big Darkspawn horde over here. Right, let's pay attention to this. There's a Forge Master there. I'm not seeing any mages, but we are going to pull our whole party back. We're going to bring them to us, not the other way around.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
We want them to come to us. I want to kind of postpone fighting that Forge Master as long as I can. We want a lot of his men dead before we go and encounter that. I don't know what he's about, but I do see he has a unique health bar, so practice a little bit of caution here. Alright. Now I believe we're in a position where we can all just pile on the Forge Master. An alpha there. I'm still not seeing an emissary, which is very good. Alright, Alistair. Walk up in here. Get a war cry. Wind stunned him for us. Take advantage of that. Up this wood. Move into flanking position and we get him dead as fast as possible. I don't know what kind of abilities he has, but he's not going to get the chance to use them. So we just rotate around the battlefield systematically and clean up. Put no Oghren. Hit him with Riposte. Hit him with Cripple. Then hit him with Punish. That's his ass. Last little Genlock's not going to do much to us. Beautiful. That takes care of the Forge Master. Now what did you have for us? Forge Master's Hammer, 32 Strength. We'll go ahead and look at some of the stats on that compared to the other things. A broken crate.
On it.
Right, that takes care of a huge chunk. We haven't seen many of those elite level enemies with the health bars like the Forge Master had there. We haven't seen many of those in the game yet, so whenever I see one, I tend to play it a little safe. Let's drop a save here. Got a level for the man, the myth, the legend. What do we want for you, Oghren? We definitely need to give you some willpower. Yeah, plenty of cunning, plenty of constitution. Your strength is really high at 40, so let's give you some dexterity, chance to evade attacks. Right, frightening appearance. This talent focuses the Reaver's unsettling countenance into a weapon, making a target cower in fear unless it passes a mental resistance check. Frightening appearance also increases the effectiveness of taunt and threaten. That's not going to be too great for him currently, but we do want to progress down the tree to Aura of Pain and Blood Frenzy, so we'll go ahead and give him that for now. He won't use it unless we tell him to, so nothing wrong with unlocking it to progress the tree.
Right. This should be easy enough.
Shall we take everything from these Darkspawn we're killing? Another little mini mausoleum. Is there a Legion of the Dead piece in here somewhere?
As you wish.
Silver Chalice. There was no Legion of the Dead piece in there. Before we push on, let's make sure. Yeah, we did do everything we could so far. Keep on keeping on. Make sure I don't miss any sneaky codex somewhere in here. I believe this brings us out on the other side of the bridge that we couldn't take. Now there's an enemy up here, actually. An ogre. Level 0 lieutenant. Interesting. You see, that's the bridge we were on, I believe. We just actually got ganked hugely. Let's pull everybody back to Alistair. On and Warcry. We're gonna move around and chop the wood, as always. With the dual sweep, they're perfectly lined up for it. I'm gonna stay on track with this Shriek, get him dead first. These are the assassins of the Darkspawn. The ones they send into camps in the back lines of troops. Tried to take us out with these same assassins, actually. Back in our camp a couple episodes ago. The Archdemon sent a little welcome party. Welcome to the third act of the game. Wayne, how is your stamina pool looking? Looking pretty good. She can't give us... Well, she could give us frost weapons, but I'm not really interested in that. Be better if she could give us flame. Actually, I'm kinda missing Morgan's AoE control, but... It just feels weird not to bring Oghren down here into the deep roads. It's his culture, it's his people. Already see Welcome to Paradise. We have an emissary right there, so you already know immediately where we're all gonna go. We're gonna go attack him. Win. See if you can stop him casting his nonsense. You did. We are gonna micro win here for a second. Okay, now Alistair is already taunting for us, which is great. He's gonna get a war cry off for us. We're gonna get sideswiped by a giant shield bash, apparently. There we go. Now we're getting down. Trying to break the line, the faltering. Kill him and get him out of there while they take care of the other. And we're good on this encounter. This one can be a little tricky too. It's a hefty amount of enemies in this room.
This should be easy enough. Let's get started.
If you don't watch yourself, it can be a little tough when you walk in here with all those skeletons. Ordinarily, I wouldn't recommend chasing as hard as I did right there, but the emissaries are the priority target. They're the ones that are going to kill you if anybody is, so if you don't get them gone fast, you'll find you're the one that gets gone. We have the Legion chestplate now. Now we just need the helmet.
First day they come and catch everyone.
Now I want you to pay attention to what she says here. In fact, I'm going to actually turn on subtitles for you guys here. You need to pay attention to what she says as we progress.
Right.
She said, first day they come and take everyone.
Second day, they beat us and eat some for meat.
Second day they beat us and eat some for meat.
Fifth day they return and it's another girl's turn.
Now this is very dark, so I give a little warning for that. This section of the game is very, very dark, and BioWare has tried very hard to run away from this since this, so it's just a heads up to that.
Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew.
We'll cut left first. See, there's some things to kill over here. Now, there's a lot of interpretation about the little rhyme and slang that woman is talking about. I don't really think it's up for much debate what she's referring to. You'll get more on that when you realize what she's talking about, but very dark. This is, after all, dark fantasy, so. And my character is totally dead here. There's nothing to be done about this at all. So we're just gonna pop a taunt, pop a war cry. We're gonna micro win and hopefully keep her alive from the spider right here. Bring our main character back. Win pops a heal. We pop a heal. Alistair's gonna hit cleanse because somebody has that little curse on them that I don't like. Win's actually dead. We're not gonna be able to do anything for her.
Let's make this quick!
But the emissaries down and everybody has their curse removed, so in general, we win this encounter. I can use my injury kit. Win, you're gonna need one too at this point. Arrow of Filth. Doesn't that just sound disgusting?
As you wish. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's keep on keeping on as always. Yeah, it's very, very dark. The topic of which this is all going to be talking about, but it does add to the Darkspawn and the reason why they take so many survivors.
She is violated.
8th day we hated as she is violated.
9th day she grins and devours her kin.
The environment is getting significantly creepier as we progress.
Now she does feast as she's become the beast. First day they come and catch everyone. Second day, they beat us and eat some for meat. Third day, the men are all gnawed on again. Fourth day, we wait and fear for our fate. Fifth day they return and it's another girl's turn. Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew. 8th day we hated as she is violated. 9th day she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast.
When
First
there's
day
the
they come and catch everyone.
the whole thing back to back to back. We're gonna talk to Hespith here. Maybe she can tell us what's going on and kind of confirm what we're so worried about. It clearly isn't doing too good.
What is this? A human? Bland and unlikely. Feeding time brings only kin and clan. I am cruel to myself. You are a dream of strangers' faces and open doors.
Feeding time only brings kin and clan, so they've been feeding the women the men, amongst other things. Is this Darkspawn corruption? It looks different.
Corruption. The men did that. Their wounds festered, and their minds left. They are like dogs, marched ahead, the first to die. Not us, not me, not Laren. We are not cut. We are fed. Friends, and flesh, and blood, and bile, and all I could do was wish Laren went first. I wished it upon her so that I would be spared. But I had to watch. I had to see the change. How do you endure that? How did Branka endure?
Are you from Branka's house?
Do not talk of Branka, of what she did. Ancestors preserve us. Forgive me. I was her captain, and I didn't stop her. Her lover, and I could not turn her. Forgive her. But no, she cannot be forgiven. Not for what she did. Not for what she has become.
What did she do, Hespith? What did Branka do?
I will not speak of her, of what she did, of what we have become. I will not turn. I will not become what I have seen. Not Laren, not Branka.
Nah, there was a lot there. She was cheating on Oghren. She had a lover in the dark. That's likely why she never contacted Oghren again, even though she's at least survived until recently, since most of her house is still here. It seems like she, at some point, turned on her own people, or at least did something, right? Hespith is saying what Branka did to us, what Branka did to us. I couldn't change her mind. And then not just to mention the poem and her witching it on the other girl, so that she would be spared for a little while longer. There's all kinds of sick shit going on down here, and I'll be glad to put a stop to all this. Definitely be happy to put a stop to all the crazy shit that's going on down here. It'd be my pleasure, actually.
She became obsessed. That is the word, but it is not strong enough. Blessed stone, there was nothing left in her but the anvil.
Obsessed with nothing left in her but the anvil. I'm gonna get my party members here to hold position. We're gonna bring this ogre over to us. You see, he has another friend back there, being sneaky. So we're gonna be equally as crafty in our approach to this fight. Take out the swords, and that takes care of him. Now I can freely aggro the other ogre. Not afraid of taking one-on-one. We did miss the stun to save the ball to throw at the very last second. I think I hit Win and Alistair, actually. Won't matter, the ogre's dead. Yeah, everything... No. We think it's sick, but imagine Oghren's perspective here. He just found out he's getting cheated on, and on top of that, like, we're not done. It seems she was responsible for whatever happened. Load limit reached. Based on the name of that codex, I imagine that collapsed because people transported too much heavy stuff.
We tried to escape, but they found us. They took us all. Turned us.
She just said they took us all, so that's the entire house.
On it.
Broodmother. I thought it would have fallen into dust by now.
A lot of things here. The Legion of the Dead altar back here.
Let's get started.
And here we have the Helm of the Legion, the final piece we needed, and a Legionnaire key, which I imagine is for the locked door we just walked by. Have a new quest, the Dead Cast. The tale of the Dead Cast has revealed the location of an unmarked grave in the Dead Trenches. This would be the Dead Cast right here. It's in the next room. What do we have with the Legion of the Dead relic? Well, I guess we know who our strong-lunged friends are. That's actually Legion of the Dead Spirits. A little more specific on who that is now. Some momentum back up. And find Hespith again. We are going to need to have a conversation with her. It's all a little unclear right now, and she's clearly not mentally stable anymore after everything she's been through, so I would like to dig into that a little more. We have the Gang Shade.
As you wish.
Now we have the Dead Cast. We might hopefully be able to return some of this.
The men, they kill. They're merciful. But the women, they want to touch, to mold, to change until you are filled with them.
And again, some more foreshadowing of what's been going down here. They want to touch, they want to mold and fill them. Now, if it is as bad as it looks, based on what we've heard so far with,
They took Laren. They made her eat the others, our friends. She tore off her husband's face and drank his blood.
On it.
if Branka is responsible for the things that have gone down here, which are certainly all kinds of crimes against humanity and everything in between. You already know how I feel about justice. We're certainly going to make her answer for those kind of things. I'm not in the habit of letting things like this grow.
She grew. She swelled and turned gray, and she smelled like them. They remade her in their image. Then she made more of them.
As you wish.
Dead cast insignia. A dwarven coat of arms with old ancestral ties. A new field suggests that its bearer intended either to join with the old house or create a new one. We have a quest updated. If proven, the lineage of the Dead Cast House symbol could lead to the Legion of the Dead being considered as a form of noble house in its own right. It must be entered into the memories in the Shaper if the validity of the claim is to be tested. Of course, we are certainly going to do that. We elevate the Legion of the Dead, we might end up with some Legionnaires on the front line against the Darkspawn.
Broodmother.
Broodmother.
Let's get started.
Now we're gonna drop save before we progress. That's what became of Laren. That used to be a dwarf. Right. This is a very tough fight. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So be very cautious. Be very careful of everything we're gonna do here. There are multiple approaches you can take. You can try and burn her down. You can keep these tentacles at bay. I like to do a mix of both. I like to keep the tentacles down, and I also like to just have everybody chop the wood on her. Easier said than done, as you can see. She's very hefty, the tentacles are very troublesome. But as long as you keep all the aggro on Alistair, it's not that hard to do. I've made a very big mistake by letting Wind die there, so now this is even more critical that we take very cautious care of our tank. Our battery is quite dead. This is all getting out of hand very quickly. Again, a huge error on my part to let Wind die. So we're going to make sure everybody stays nice and healed up. We're going to try and take care of a lot of this rabble side here. Oghren's going to need something else to sip while that's on cooldown. This is going to get very hectic. Hold up. Take a very careful note of Alistair as well. Get some of this rabble off on the side taken care of here. Okay, now we're gonna go back to focusing on her. She's almost there. Oghren's gonna take a sip. Alistair's gonna sip. I'm gonna sip.
I'm running out of ammo. Let's get started.
And we got her. She's dead. Put Laren here out of her misery. If there's anything left of her in there, I'm sure she wasn't enjoying being whatever this is. Now we have Effort, a Ring of Selection, 2 greater health potions, and Rock Knocker. Yeah, whatever was going on with that, I'm glad we were here to put an end to that abomination.
That's where they come from. That's why they hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
Now, there was a lot that we just learned. But let's kind of try and, before we wrap up, I suppose we'll try and unpack everything we just learned a little. So, the reason the Darkspawn take captives, which are rumored and said to be often women, is because they like to bring them down into the deep roads and turn them into this. Now, how they do that, you can interpret from the words of that poem. They feed them, they touch them, they mold them, they fill them, and then through whatever process that is, you can decide for yourself. But they ultimately turn into this, which is a Broodmother. This is a human female, a dwarven female, an elven female, whatever kind of female it is. They're dragged off down into the deep roads and turned into this. And then they basically become earthen factories for Darkspawn. Over and over and over again. That's how they build their numbers outside of just tainting the land above and stealing people. That's the reason they take female captives. The reason they take male captives is to feed them to the females. So now we know where Darkspawn come from and why they don't just indiscriminately slaughter everybody. It was rumored that they take some victims down for food. Now we know that's not true. We know exactly why they bring them down here, and this is it. Now, aside from that, what we just learned is Branka knew all of this was going to happen to her house and allowed it to happen. Now, what kind of possible motivation she could have for that, I'm not too sure. I don't think Hespith is too. I think the reason Hespith is struggling so much mentally over this is because she doesn't really know what she did to get betrayed by her love either. But now that we know Branka is responsible for this, we're certainly going to have a whole new approach to Branka's ass when we finally meet her down here. She has a lot of explaining to do, and if I don't like the answers, my dagger is going straight into her throat, because allowing this, whatever this is, allowing this to her own people that she has obligations to, her cousins, her nephews, her nieces, her lover. Thank God she didn't bring Oghren down here or he'd be dead. Whatever this is an abomination and an affront to all forms and versions of humanity. So if she is responsible for this, she's dead. Just up front. I don't even need to meet her. If she caused this, she's dead. Hands down. There's no other alternative there. It's over for her if she caused this or had anything to do with this at all. If this is all a big misunderstanding and a mistake, then maybe she can live. But if she's responsible for this right here, then it's over. Her shit is over. There's no conversation to be had. There's nothing to be done about that. But put her out of whatever kind of human misery she has left. So I think on that note, we'll probably wrap up the episode. We'll give the Amble of the Void its little own arc. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Take care, guys. Have a good day.